Well, hello everyone, and thank you for joining our CPRIA certification overview webinar. I'm Lisa Lindsay, and I'm with the Private Risk Management Association, and we're just top of the hour. We have a few more people that need to check in, so I'm going to just sit tight here for a few minutes. I want everybody to make note of the GoToWebinar control panel. You'll see in your control panel that there is a place for questions. So throughout the presentation, think of any questions that you might have, and I would be happy to answer them at the end of the presentation and make sure that I answer all the questions that you guys have. And for those of you that are out there, if you can just let me know if you can hear me loud and clear by just typing, yes or whatever into the question window, that would be super helpful. Just so I can do a quick check. Perfect. Thank you, Angie, Julie. Thank you. Thank you. All right, we'll get started in a few moments. I don't know about the weather you guys are having, but I'm here in central Ohio, and it is some pretty windy weather. So I keep my fingers crossed that we don't have a power outage as I see the trees sway back and forth. I think we'll be okay. But my apologies in advance if for some reason the webinar drops off. It's likely that I have lost power. All right, so we'll wait just another moment. One thing I did want to mention, I know that we've got a combination of people on the phone who are members and who are not members. And I just wanted to mention that a great place to go to get information about the association is right at privateriskmanagement.org. You're really going to have insight into everything that's going on, all of the events we have. So you'll see here that we've got a Midwest actually event that took place earlier today. And then we've got today's overview session. We start registration for some of these courses, segment 4 on the 18th. We've got a Nashville meet and greet. And then you can always click on all events, view all events, and this just gives you a whole listing of things. We've got a market update with Cincinnati in March. We've got a New York meet and greet, so just wanted to bring that to everybody's attention, and then why don't we go ahead and get started. I know everybody's busy. Okay, so welcome to the overview of the Chartered Private Risk and Insurance Advisor program. This is a program that we built with the support of St. John's University School of Risk Management. So they endorse our program. They helped review the curriculum and provide valuable insight. When we put this curriculum together or started thinking about it when we formed the association back in 2014, our vision was to really get industry experts, get knowledge out of their head, and put together a program for professionals within the high net worth risk management sector and do it in a way that made it affordable, flexible, and accessible to virtually anybody who wanted to take it. So that's what the membership told us via survey, and that's precisely what we delivered. We gathered upwards of 50 subject matter experts, so folks who have been in this space on the carrier side, on the agent and broker side, on the appraiser, vendor side, and we got them to help us curate content, and then we partnered with our learning partner, New Level Partners, to create this online curriculum. And our target audience is folks specializing in this risk management, in the risk management of high net worth individuals, affluent individuals. Most likely, participants do have some experience in the personal insurance arena. That's desired, and certainly we'd like to see at least 3 years of industry experience. I will tell us that we have over 500 graduates to the program, and the tenure of our graduates ranges to people who have been practicing in high net worth for 30 plus years. They tell us that every course they go through, they learn something new. Again, to people who are been perhaps in personal insurance for 5 years and they really want to start focusing on high net worth. So that's really, we created the curriculum with this target audience in mind. We've got the CPRIA certification, And we're kind of calling that level 1. It's got 6 segments. We blend in case study assignments. We have webinars where industry experts share some of their learnings and some of their inspiration. And we just launched this fall the Advanced CPRIA program, and I'll tell you a little bit about that towards the end of the presentation. This program is available to CPRIA graduates, and it's a different type of learning program, again, that we'll get into. So let's talk a little bit about the CPRIA program. We call it a blended approach of learning because we've got fully narrated, interactive e-learning modules, but we also have Experts Corners webinars. We also have case study assignments. So each course will have 1 or 2 case study assignments where we're really actually asking you to take the learning from the e-learning modules and think about how you're going to put it into practical action within your day. There's a commitment of roughly 8 hours per segment. Some folks might be able to get through a segment in 6 hours. Some folks may really just love the content of a particular segment, and they may spend 9 to 10 hours. We say on average of 8 hours, and we seek to get, if we can, 8 hours of CE credits from various different states. And the one thing I would say, it's all online, right? It's flexible, it's virtual, you don't have to travel to a destination, so there's no additional T&E that you'd need approval for from your employer or that you have to fund for your staff. And there are no books to purchase. We do have oftentimes recommended optional reading, but everything that you need to complete the course, we provide to you, and it's part of the course fee. Having said that, the flexibility needs to happen within a window, if you will. So like a traditional university, we've got a distinct start to the course, and we have a distinct finish to the course, and it's roughly 3 months. So what we provide to you is flexibility within the start and the finish of the course to get your work done. We will give you a suggested timeline about milestones and when you should have certain assignments complete so that you can plan accordingly. But it really is a go at your own pace. Again, you need to finish the self-assessment by the time that assessment window opens. So 3 months to do 8 hours worth of work that you can do nights, weekends, on your lunch break. It's a really wonderful, wonderful platform. The benefits of participation is, obviously there's a lot of information. We are able to provide you insights from industry experts, as I mentioned, and then, at the end of the day, you're getting a professional certification that will differentiate you in the high net worth risk management community. Again, it is endorsed by St. John's University, and our over 500 graduates, we see them, within their email signature. They're able to put out press releases, just able to market themselves as being really dedicated and committed to sound private risk management. So the entire certification is 6 segments. A segment, you can substitute that for the word course. So there's 6 courses, 6 segments. Interestingly enough, we have numbered them 1 through 6, but they don't have to be taken in order. There is a little bit of a logical flow to segments 1 through 6. You begin segment 1 with fundamentals, and then segment 6, you're ending with some, more advanced stuff, life safety, kidnap and ransom and whatnot. But each course is developed to stand on its own. So we have new people, roughly, I want to say on average, 100 new people joining the curriculum every time we offer a new course. And so folks are going to start registering for segment 4, which opens up on Monday. And then they'll end up just taking segment 4, 5, 6, 7, 4, 5, 6, 1 and 2 and 3. So they'll go in that order. 95, 96% of our participants, once they start, they just keep going. They take whatever segment is being offered and consecutively go through the 6. If you do that, you will get done with this in roughly 16 to 18 months. It really just depends. Sometimes we might space a segment out a little bit because it falls during Christmas holidays and whatnot. So I would really recommend that if you decide to jump in at segment 4, kind of put in your head that you're going to make a 16 to 18 month commitment, right, of 8 hours for each course times 6, not a ton of work, but certainly a meaningful amount of work and learning, and get it done. What'll happen is if you start with segment 4 and you don't take segment 5, it's not the end of the world. You can pick it back up in segment 6, and we've had some people who have had to skip a segment, whether it's celebrating the birth of a child or whatever goes on in life. The downside of that is then you have to wait until segment 5 is offered again, and that might be in another year. So it's on demand, or it's do at your own pace, but there is a set schedule, just like a university course. So hopefully that made sense to you guys. If not, I'd be happy to answer further questions at the end. Now, I don't want to go into a ton about what each segment is. There's a lot of words up on this screen, but you'll see fundamentals of personal risk management. It's just getting you familiar with the terminology and familiar with how do you begin to dissect what risk strategies you're going to put together for your client, whether it's advising them to avoid the risk or whether they're going to seek out an insurance solution and whatnot. In this particular course, you'll see that there are 2 online e-learning courses. There's a webinar, we've got a case study, we've got another webinar, and then there's 1 required reading assignment and 1 optional assignment. So that's kind of the framework that repeats itself throughout the other segments. Segment 2, understanding the high net worth universe. We just want you to really have some sense of the definition and scope of the high net worth population in the US and globally, and what are some of the trends and behaviors that somebody who's going to be successful in this sector will do. This course in particular has 3 online learning courses and case study assignment with some required reading. Segment 3, strategic coverage placement. This is where we start to talk about some of the issues that would be facing a high net worth client that you'll need to think about solving for, which range from, are they a good fit? Are they a good fit for you and your firm? Are they a good fit for the carrier that you may recommend to them? And we get into some advanced coverage review. Now, I will tell you, this isn't about us comparing a Chubb Masterpiece policy to an HO3 policy. We're not going to get into those nitty-gritties. We're going to assume that you have that background and experience, but we're going to talk broadly about coverage in terms of most high net worth individuals have these risk exposures. So you would be needing to look for valuable articles coverage that provides these types of terms and conditions. We're not going to do a review of high net worth carriers. We could never keep up with keeping that up to date. So this is more things that you should really be thinking about. Again, you'll notice that there's another case study assignment. Life cycle risk management, which is segment 4. This is where we kind of dig down and we ask you to really think about what does it mean to take care of your client throughout the life cycle of their life, of their family, from the time you acquire the account to doing your pre-renewals, to doing whatever type of regular account reviews you want to do, and how do you incorporate all of the other important trusted advisors that they may be working with. We talk a bunch about E&Os, we talk about claims, and again, there's some case study assignments. And then we've got an introduction to specialty coverage. Here's where we go a little bit deeper into coverages such as equine, aircraft, collect a car. We talk about wine collections. We talk about farm and ranch, aviation. And we also talk a little bit about commercial insurance, because I think many high net worth clients, they do have a gray area where their personal risks kind of go over to commercial, and some of their commercial things, whether they own their own businesses or have side LLCs, might cross over into personal. And we really try to help you think through how to navigate that. What are the type of specialists you likely need to establish relationships with? We do have, as you'll see here, an experts corner session on that, having the individual D&O and trustee liability conversation, because we know lots of high net worth clients do sit on boards. And then the last segment, personal security, life safety, and protection. So we're going to dig into a little bit about cyber risk. We're going to talk about crisis management and K&R. We're going to talk about medical care management, not health insurance, but we're going to talk about some of the concierge health partners that are available out there in the marketplace. We do give you a little bit of an insight into estate planning, life insurance, and long-term care. Not that typically most of our members are in the P&C space, but we feel that if you're going to be the right caliber risk manager for your client, you should at least have some common understanding of the other things that would impact their overall risk management plan. And we've got some really, really great experts corners webinars in terms of the downside of not having an estate plan, done by an estate planning attorney out of Seattle. She makes the webinar informational, fun, and I don't know, we've done it a half dozen times, and every time we do that webinar, people walk away with a list of things that they actually feel like they need to tackle and understand for themselves. So it's kind of cool. At the end, so you complete each segment by passing a series of chapter quizzes, completing the case study assignments, and then you take a final assessment where you have to get a 70 or better. So once you complete a course, you get a certificate of completion for the course. Once you get 6 certificates of completion, you will actually get a certificate of completion for your chartered property and casualty certification. We provide you with guidelines. You can put it in your email signature. You can put it out on your LinkedIn profile and whatnot. So it's really kind of cool. We survey our students after every segment they take, and we also survey at the end when people have received their full certification. And, you know, the feedback's been good, that, you know, 96% would recommend it. Here you'll see that some people, you know, have shared a little bit more. I manage a unit responsible for client retention in our high net worth group, and I use the learnings from this program to guide my team. And, you know, similar feedback throughout. People do love the flexibility of the program to be able to hunker down on a Sunday afternoon and get through some assignments. And they appreciate, obviously, not having to incur costs and time out of the office by having to travel to a destination. When you register for a course, you then get access to our online university. It can be a little confusing at first. It is a separate website, username and password. So you've got a privateriskmanagement.org username and password. That's where you register for the classes. And then there's an actual online university that you would go to complete the courses. And we have the courses set up in a very thoughtful prerequisite manner, meaning we guide you through step by step what you need to take. You can't skip to an incorrect session unless you have taken the proper section before. So we've really designed this with your busy schedule in mind. Here's a little look at the 2019 calendar, and this will probably drive home the notion that I mentioned. There's a start date, a distinct start date, and an end date. So let's use segment 4 as an example. That's the one that opens up for registration on Monday. So we have the enrollment period of February 18th to March 1st. And that's really when we want folks to register. Once you register, typically within 48 hours, we'll give you access to the course. So some people might start before March 4th just because they registered, you know, on the early end of the window and they wanted to get going. That's fine. We have here course start date March 4th. We really think, you know, if you're registered, start thinking about getting your work done because you really want to stay on top of it. And then you'll see here that the final assessment will be open from April 8th through April 26th. So it basically means that folks have to finish all of that coursework by April 26th. You don't necessarily have to finish all of the coursework by April 8th. Some people, you know, start on March 4th, they go through the material, the assessment opens on April 8th, they finish, and then they get a little bit of a breather before the next course starts, as you'll see here on, you know, May 28th. Some folks, for whatever, their schedule's very demanding, they've had a lot of things to do. Some folks may, you know, not start the coursework until until April 8th. And then they've got, again, till April 26th. So here's the schedule. For 2019, we will be offering segment 4. This is segment 5, segment 6, and then we come back around in October for segment 1. And we'll have the 2019 course calendar up shortly. I'm going to just jump over here to our website. Again, there's just a lot of information here. So if you're ever wondering, well, what's going on, just come up here to the Academy, click on CPRIA certification. This gives you, you know, really all the stuff that I talked about. If you want to dig deep into a current segment, this is really the information that was on the slide I showed you. You'll see where we have CE credits. And then I wanted to point out that up here you'll see our course calendar. And this is where you can go in and see when the course is being offered, which is what I just showed you guys. And we will get 2020 up there. We will get 2020 up there shortly. Okay, let me go back over here. Okay. We have applied for CE credits in 39 states. They're the 39 states that most closely resemble our membership. We target 8 credits per segment. Most states are you know, very happy to give us eight credits. There are some states there that are just super picky. So credits might range, you know, from 4 or 5. And then in some instances, the state of Texas, you know, has only granted us 1.5 credits for, you know, particular course. So it really just depends. You just have to take a look at where that is. You don't have to go to a testing site. Many states require that a proctor be available when you take the assessment. And all that means is just plan ahead. A proctor is usually needs to be a disinterested third party, so it can't be your spouse or your manager, but you could just have somebody that you work with that is not, you know, a direct report. Just, you know, sit while you take the final assessment so that you can get those credits. Okay, course fees. These courses are available to members only, so you do have to be a member when taking the courses. An individual membership is $250, and each segment is $295, or we do offer the ability for people to purchase, you know, a segment 4 and 5 package. That's what we'll be offering on Monday, which is $499. So there's a slight discount there. And that means that all 6 would cost, on a bundle, $1,497 for a professional certification. Very affordable, given there are no other costs involved, and CE is additional. And that additional $50, we have to pay our vendor $60 to create your CE certificates and register those CE credits with the state. So we just try to pass some of that off to you, although we are subsidizing a little bit. Memberships for corporate are $2,000. Enterprise for very, you know, larger firms is up in the $10,000 area. And any of our corporate or enterprise members who think they're going to have 5 or more employees enrolling in any given segment should reach out to me, because I can talk to you about some group discounts where the $295 might go down to $235 or $200, depending upon the number of people that you have. So let me stop right there and just ask, anybody have any questions so far about the CPRIA program? You just type it in the window, and if not, I'll just give you a high level on the ACPRIA program. Okay, it doesn't look like we have any questions. So the advanced program is offered to CPRIA graduates. We just launched our first group of participants at our November summit back last fall. And this program is different. If you think about CPRIA, we developed the content, we gave it to you, you digested it, you tested out and showed us that you were fluent in the learnings. The ACPRIA program is a thought program, thought leadership program, where basically we're presenting you with a problem that we think needs attention or needs to be solved for in the high net worth risk management specialty, and we want you to work on it. So you're doing most of the work. We're helping you go through the process, and then we'll look to publish white papers and promote the excuse me, the work that the group does. So the folks who are enrolled in the program, there's 15 right now. They're taking part in a collaborative team experience. They've got 12 months to complete this project. They launched it at the summit last year, and at this year's summit in November, they're actually going to report out to the curriculum committee their research findings and how they solved for moving their problem forward. The problems range from cyber to reputational risk to flood and surface water, wildfire. Trying to think of what the fifth one is. Can't think of it off the top of my head. So we gave them, I think, 6 topics. There were 5 teams. They voted as a team which ones they wanted to tackle, and they're working on the programs. And it's pretty exciting to see what they do. Once they complete that in November of this year, then they are going to be working on an individual research submission. So each student will select a research topic of personal interest, and they will research and write a white paper that they will then hand in for completion and approval. We're allowing folks to have up to 24 months to complete this portion of the program once they pass phase 1. I suspect some people will jump into part 2, finish in 6 months, because that's what their schedule allows, or that's how they are wired. And some folks may take the full 24 months depending upon what's going on. It is a little bit of a limited to a small class. We might see, we've got 15 now. I don't know what this next class will look like, but we do require an application. We do require letters of recommendation. We do require an essay. So it's really been kind of fun to see people. It's been fun to see people apply. It's been fun to read the letters of recommendation and see the impact that they have had on the individuals who wrote for them. And it's really interesting to just see their essays and their commitment to everything. So that's really the CPRIA information. So I have a question here from Joy. I received an email today letting me know that the registration is open. It is correct. So we have a lot of different ways that people register. Sometimes people register just as an individual and go in and take the course. For some of our larger companies, might be a hub, might be Pure, where we are giving the group discounts. So we create a special way for them to register through a promotional code so that they get different pricing. We have gone out and communicated to folks who are part of some of the group pricing already, probably today, letting them know you can go register. And we do that just to sort of get that group of people up and running before we go out with the mass communication on Monday. So if you got an email saying registration is open, you can trust it's true, even though wink, wink, registration is not officially open until Monday. And so what kind of questions can I answer for you guys? Anything at all? All right, before I let you go, and I do appreciate you taking the time to join, if you do decide that you do want to take a course, it's really super simple. You're going to log into your PRMA account. If you are not a member, please click on the join button and join. And then you're going to go to an event. So I'm going to go right here. I think I'm going to go right here. I am. I'm going to go right here to segment 4 registration. And you'll see there's a button that says member registration. And I didn't log in, so it's going to say you must be logged in order to do it. I'm just going to quickly log in here. Okay, so now I'm logged in. It's just super easy. Let me just go back to the beginning. All right, so you come here, click on member registration. It pre-fills your information. We're going to go to next. This is where it's telling me, right? If I want to purchase the bundle, I'm going to click on $4.99. Or if I only want to purchase segment 4, I'm going to click on day 1, $2.95. Don't get mixed up with all days day 1. Just if you want the bundle, pick the $4.99. So I'm going to click next. It's going to show me here CE. If you're concerned about, well, what do I have to do for Texas CE, which I think is a monitor state, you're going to go ahead and click on any of these links, and then you're just going to say whether you want CE, no, or you do. So I'm going to pretend I want Delaware CE, $50. I'm going to click next. It gives me the registration fee because I bought the bundle. It gives me this, $50. If you do buy the bundle, you're only purchasing CE for segment 4, and we'll give you an opportunity to buy CE for segment 5 when segment 5 opens up in May. We don't allow you to buy CE for both courses because the states don't always renew or do what we want them to do. So this says $549. If you're one of the folks who got a special email with a promo code, this is where you're going to pop in that promo code, and then you're going to apply it, and it'll revise the charge. Some employers are on a group bill, so your promo code, when you apply it, it may say that you owe nothing. So you're just going to, move right along. And then it's going to come in here and take your credit card information. Then you're going to hit pay with credit card, and you will be registered. So that's, the registration is super, super easy. And then as I mentioned, we will, within 48 hours of registering, you will get an email that will give you the specifics about the course. Okay. Nope. Okay. So Kelly, great question. I apologize. But I would be starting at segment. Do I have to wait until 1028 to start there? No, segments don't have to be taken in order, Kelly. So if you want to start in segment 4 and then do 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, you can just jump in and register on Monday and go ahead and begin the programs. Okay, another question. Are there any prerequisites to take the classes? There are no prerequisites to take the classes. So, we just recommend that you have some basic insurance knowledge. You have your scissors, so you are good to go. Rachel's got a question. Introduction of Family Office Risk Management. When is this available? Great question, Rachel. Let me go back up here to the Academy. So we are currently developing a standalone course So it's not a certification like CPRIA that's got multiple courses, but we are right now developing the Introduction to Family Office Risk Management, and that curriculum, which is located on the website, you'll see that it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's got 5 online learning courses. And then I think we're lining up 3 Experts Corners webinars. And it'll be about 4 to 5 hours of learning commitment. We're right now filing for CE credits, so fingers crossed we'll be able to offer this course. We're targeting April 15. It may end up being May 1, just depending on how fast the states want to review our material and be nice about it. But they're getting a little bit used to our educational format. So Introduction to Family Office Risk Management, we're targeting May 1st, if you will. So we've got, under our academy, we've got CPRIA, we've got the advanced program for CPRIA graduates, and we will be launching Introduction to Family Office Risk Management, fingers crossed, between April 15th and May 1st. And I think this is going to be a really fun course. What's different about this course is we won't be offering this course on a set calendar the way that we do CPRIA. That's just a little bit more complicated, so it's not truly on demand. But the Family Office Risk Management curriculum, our intention is you can register for this, buy this, and begin this whenever you want to. And the only caveat is you're only going to have access to it for 4 months. So once you purchase it, you have 4 months to complete it, test out, and get a certificate of completion, not a certification, but it will be available on a more regular basis than the CPRIA is right now. So let me see if I have any other questions. Okay. Will the family office courses be best taken with the foundation of CPRIA, or does it matter? I would say, all things being equal, having your CPRIA under your belt will be helpful, because we would have been talking about some of the fundamentals, the terminology and whatnot that we developed in CPRIA in the family office program. But having said that, it's not going to be a material difference if you jumped in and decided I can't tackle CPRIA right now, but I'm so super interested about Introduction to Family Office. You'd be fine. So, that, I guess, hopefully that answered your question. All right, any other questions? Great, thanks. Thanks, Rochelle. All right, well, again, thank you guys so much for joining in this overview session. The best place to find information about what's going on, course offerings, is to go to this website, privateriskmanagement.org. And the other thing, just quickly while I have you, a lot of people aren't aware, but we do have this resource area where we've got webinars and articles that we have done in the past, if you will. So I might click on aviation. Say you're just wondering what's going on in aviation. I have a client who's thinking about getting a plane. As long as you're logged into your account, you could go here and you'll come across a little bit of an intro on what the webinar is, who the speakers were, and then you could just click on this YouTube video and watch a little presentation about aviation. So you'll see collections has a lot, from lending artwork to artwork and storage to the wine market, just a ton of valuable information. So feel free to always come to this website, poke around, and see what's in there. All right. So I think I should probably let you guys get back to work. But again, I appreciate the time. You know where to find me. If you have any questions that come up after we hang up, feel free to just reach out to me. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have, and look forward to seeing some of you register and take part in CPRIA. So thanks, everyone, and have a great day.